him driving that around.
Whoa.
Look at that.
My goodness.
Boy, did he get into one.
Welcome back. Boy, he liked that Camaro, that nice red Camaro. And man, look at, he didn't waste any time at all. That Severino offering was not walking.
Well, y'all really didn't think they were going to go 158-4, right? Right? Like, we're all realists here. Baseball is a long season, and losses like Friday nights really prove that. Welcome to the Royals Recap. I am Jacob Milham, one half of the Royals Rundown podcast. Thank you very much for joining me this evening, where we talk about the series opening loss against the New York Mets. Listen, Eric Hosmer, the World Series champion, former Kansas City Royal, spoke, he tweeted, I guess, before the game, saying that some people say the visiting clubhouse still smells like champagne. And you know what? It might, but tonight, those are just champagne dreams still, okay? That ain't, the Kansas City Royals don't have a whole lot to write home about after Friday night's loss. It was pretty one-sided. It was pretty one-sided. 6-1 loss. There ain't no way to slice it in a positive way. And for the first time this season, in a loss, the Kansas City Royals really felt out of it. Like, they felt out of the game completely. It was, they struck quick. It took a 1-0 lead off of Salvador Perez's home run, which you just heard. And after that, it was nothing. It was just diddly squat. Michael Garcia, Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny Pasquantino, the top three batters in this lineup, who the Kansas City Royals rely on to set the tone and get on base, so that guys like Salvador Perez, MJ Melendez, and Nelson Velasquez can do the most damage that they possibly can. Well, those top three hitters only went 1 for 11 tonight. Michael Garcia had a walk, sure, but he's still hitless. Bobby Witt Jr. hitless after a stellar series finale against the Houston Astros. Vinny Pasquantino had that one lone hit. Really, this was just a game you have to chalk it up to. The New York Mets were they were locked in. I don't want to say, oh, well, they're trying to avenge the 2015 loss at home. No, like, we're past that. Okay, that's almost 10 years ago. The New York Mets and the Kansas City Royals aren't. It's not a rivalry that people, even Royals fans, are calling a rivalry or circling the games on their schedule. It's just another series on the road for the Kansas City Royals. And unfortunately, they have struggled on the road so far this year. Granted, this is only their 4th road game. A 1-3 to start off the year ain't too good. All right, and these New York Mets, they're coming off of a very, very good series against the Atlanta Braves. So they are better than their 5-7 record indicated heading into tonight's matchup. But I really felt like this was the Royals' game to lose, and they lost it. It happens. It's baseball. You're going to have those every now and then. Royals batters combined tonight for 10 strikeouts to only 4 walks, only 3 hits. You're only getting, 7 base runners, just striking out 10 different folks, and the only run came off the Salvador Perez home run. That's it. Yeah, that isn't a recipe for success. Simple as that. Just got to keep it moving. Like, folks, we can say, hey, Michael Wacha lost the game, and in the record book, yeah, it'll show Michael Wacha caught his first loss of the 2024 season. But it's just one of those games where the starting pitching approach of bend, don't break, it broke. It happens. You're going to have those across a Major League Baseball season. Michael Wacha tonight, 6 innings, not too bad. Gave up 10 hits. Another high hit game from a Kansas City Royals starter. This time, instead of getting out of the jams, Wacha gave up 5 earned runs, walking 2 batters, only striking out 4 folks. Like, that's not... It's certainly not a good start. Not a terrible start either, though. Honestly, in the grand scheme of the season, I think you're gonna have starts like this from every member of the rotation. I think Jeremy Greco put it wisely when he said starting pitchers, 1/3 of the time they're gonna have all their stuff. Everything's gonna be going their way. Another third of the time, they're going to have some of their stuff. You know, the breaking ball might not be as sharp, or the fastball loses its zip after a little while. Then the final third, starting pitcher is just going to have none of their stuff. And that's baseball. That's why we play so many games across the season. To show who can survive the war of attrition that is the MLB season. So I chalk it up to that personally. The bats were the more disappointing facet of this loss. Now they're going on the road. This is the first time in a while that they've been away from Kauffman Stadium. So maybe the boys in blue just need to get a little bit of rhythm. But they need to look at themselves, look at the teammates, and say, this isn't going to define this road trip. Go out there on Saturday. You still have a chance to take the series from the New York Mets. That is a blatant fact. So I'm hoping they do. I'm hoping they rebound quickly. I'm hoping they rebound confidently. That's another thing. Kansas City Royals tonight, just from the broadcast's vibes, from what me sitting here at home watching this game saw. We didn't see that same swagger at points, whether it be out in the field, whether it be at the plate. We didn't see that same approach tonight. And could it be that because they went on the road? Yeah, that certainly could be. Could it be they just felt overwhelmed, which is what they looked like tonight? Yeah, it certainly could be. But they can't let a loss define them. What will define them is how they respond to it. Okay, the Kansas City Royals last go around, they responded to 2 walk-off losses against the Baltimore Orioles with a 7-0 homestand. I mean, like that's why we moved on from those losses so quickly. Now, if this turns into a multi-game skid, that's when you're going to get some more of the Royals fans going, well, maybe it was just a good run. That was our good run of the spring, I guess. No, I don't think that all the positive momentum this team built in Kauffman Stadium over the past week is just going to disappear in one go. I don't think it will. But the Royals got to prove me right tomorrow. So, like I said, it was a tough game to watch up points tonight, but chalk it up to baseball. Chalk it up to the Mets got one on them tonight. Let's go out there Saturday and see what happens. That's all that matters. Coming up on the other side of the ad break, we will hear from manager Matt Quatraro, and we'll hear what he has to say after the loss. Plus, we hear from Royals captain Salvador Perez. Stay tuned.
Yeah, he just kept us on the end of the bat. You know, we didn't square a whole lot up. We had a couple opportunities with the walks when he lost the zone a little bit, but we just didn't capitalize.
And when you look at what Michael Wacha did out there today, what kind of went right and what went wrong for him out there on the mound?
Yeah, I mean the inning, I think it was the third inning where you give up the 2 runs. You know, really unusual inning with 4 or 5 hits, you know, on first pitches, not really hard hit balls, but they found holes, and sometimes that happens.
How tough were the Mets? I mean, it seems like they kept battling back.
Yeah, I mean, they put, you know, they got some big 2-out hits, which was, you know, those are back-breaking at times, especially when they're 2-strike 2-out hits. But again, the one inning with the ground balls and the early count hits, I mean, that's what. Yeah, but if you put up 1 run, it's going to be tough to win.
When you look at early in the game, get a couple opportunities there, and with that one hit, how much can you guys kind of rinse the slate clean and move on to tomorrow?
Oh, no problem. I mean, the best thing about it's a day game. We'll be back here early and we're ready to go.
He was pretty good. I think he mixed, made mistake on my pitch. I don't think he want to go down in, but he was pretty good. He used to change slider, cooler, foul for quarter, So he was good today. Good game for him.
Wacha gave you 6 innings, but he had some problems in the 3rd and 4th. What happened? He had 2 quick outs and then...
Yeah, you guys see it again. It's a lot of blooper. Broken bat, basically. I think he's doing tremendous job today. He makes his pitcher. I think only one hard hit to center field. Besides that, Stuart was a blooper. The other guy hit it at the end. Fight the hole on the catcher Alvarez. He fight the hole with sinker inside. He makes a pitch. Some day like that, and nothing we can do about that. Just get ready for tomorrow.
No, but he's been so good and good to go. And how much of a difference has having 2 veteran guys like that made this year?
Yeah, pretty good. I think. Every time you have some veteran pitcher like that, they know how to pitch. You're just trying to be in the same page with him. I think maybe you a little easy. They're gonna make the pitchers. It's pretty good to have these 2 guys here.
Yeah.
How aggressive was the Mets on first pitch or against Wacha to get those base hits and things like that in that 4th inning?
Aggressive?
Yeah, were they aggressive swinging at first pitches and things like that from your perspective?
I think they were ready, They know Wacha too. So, probably like I said, I think Wacha make some really good pitchers, I don't think the ball hard today. Just one guy, the 3rd base guy, hit it to center field. Beside him, it's a lot of blooper, a lot of ground ball, just find the hole.
It's been a while since you celebrated in here, but do you still have good feelings when you come to Citi Field?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Every time you win a World Series, you're never gonna forget that. Yeah, excited to be back. It's kind of remind me when I showed up today. That moment, 2015. Super excited. And it's something that nobody can take that from me. So super excited to be back here.
How good is this team?
Pretty good.
How far can they go?
If you don't think we're gonna make it all the way to the World Series, we're in the wrong sport. Okay? No matter who you play, no matter where we are, we always think that we're gonna win every night. If you don't have that kind of mentality, you should go somewhere else.
And how important was it to give Wacha an early run right there with your home run?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm trying to do my job. I'm just trying to, to hit the ball hard, put some run in the board for our pitchers. Today was a good game for the Mex.
Alrighty, y'all. Before I tell you about tomorrow's matchup, let's go ahead and get through the Spotify Q&A responses. Thank you very much for everyone who responded on the April 11th episode. This is basically, if you're not listening to us on Spotify, over there you have access to respond to our questions that we put on each episode. For each recap, I just ask, what did you think about the game? Give you a spot to talk about your outlook on the team, what you thought about the individual game, whatever you want to put. So let's go through the responses. Royal Rupert says, super positive episode. Thanks. Thank you, Rupert. Try to keep a level-headed tone for the most part. Kansas #1 says, glad to see that all of a sudden the Royals are getting the respect they deserve. I have a crazy prediction that both Reagans wins the Cy Young and Bobby Baseball wins the MVP. Goodness gracious. Could you imagine if that happened? Both of them winning that award. That is a crazy prediction. I ain't going to lie to you. And then, oh heavens sayus says, no fluke, ? Not sure what you're talking about there. J. Rod Schwartz says, the confidence this team is playing with is contagious. Yes, I could not agree more. It wasn't just contagious amongst the fan base. It was contagious amongst baseball. And it ain't too often you see the Kansas City Royals getting talked about in multiple segments on MLB Network. A little lowly Kansas City Royals. Aaron Bailey says, kicking butt and Bobby Baseball is going bananas. I think that's a great way to put Bobby's homestand errand. I was doing some more research last night, and the stat line that Bobby had on Thursday, it was It was 2 home runs, 4 hits, 5 RBIs, and a stolen base. And that had only happened twice before in franchise history. Bobby had done it back in 2023, And then the only person to do it before him was Bo Jackson. So that's pretty good company for the young shortstop, I will say. And then finally, Ginger620 says, Bobby and his two dongs helping validate me for saying yes on Monday's poll on whether we would sweep Houston. Feels pretty good, man. Yeah, Ginger, I couldn't agree more. I think the homestand had a lot of folks very bullish on this team, and I'm still fairly bullish right now. Kansas City Royals still have a good lead on second place in the AL Central. The Cleveland Guardians Friday matchup got postponed due to rain, so they will have a doubleheader on Saturday against the New York Yankees. So that is something to keep an eye on. If the Guardians split that maybe, or if they lose both, the Royals could be in. They could be playing tomorrow for the top spot in the AL Central. So that would be pretty dang cool. If you ask me. The Kansas City Royals, even after tonight's loss, still lead all of MLB in their expected win-loss record, according to MLB.com. Expected to be 11-3 right now, but instead they sit at 9-5. So that is disappointing, but that is just how the cookie crumbles in baseball. So tomorrow, it is an afternoon game on a Saturday. First pitch is at 12:40 Kauffman Standard Time against the New York Mets. Alec Marsh should be taking the bump for the Kansas City Royals, looking to build upon a very good start and then a very meh start, I think is the way to put it. He's got a mixed bag through two starts. He will face former Kansas City Royals prospect, the guy that the Royals sent away in the Ben Zobrist trade to the Oakland Athletics, Sean Manaea. He will be taking the bump for the New York Mets. The 32-year-old is having a pretty strong start to the season in his own right, a .82 ERA in 2 starts and 11 innings pitched. So not too shabby. It looks like the lineup will have another hard matchup against the Mets tomorrow. But I'll be right back here in your podcast feed tomorrow. Thank you so much for listening to tonight's Royals recap. Please drop me a line. All my contact information is down in the podcast description below. Love to hear from you. If you have any ideas, critiques, whatever you want, just drop me a line. That is going to do it for tonight's Royals recap. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And until next time, go Royals!